I like Venger Satanis. I gotta tell you something. Now, the man's politics, I just think are completely anathema to my politics. Absolutely. But I respect and I love living in a world with true individuals who are absolutely 100% themselves, and not just to the point of being just like annoying, like the RPG pundit. Like the RPG pundit is both a shamil and a shemazel, right? I love the. I mean, I wouldn't. I didn't say I knew him. I said I met him. Yeah, I debated the RPG pundit one time. You know what I mean? The RPG pundit is the RPG pundit, a human being, of flesh and blood, but not for long. No, that was Mr. Wendell. He debated me. I would have bought him some shoes, but he would have smoked them. I'm kidding. We say hello, Jonas, out in the live chat. Venger Satanis is, unlike the RPG pundit, has real person. Look, the RPG pundit has personality. It has a personality. The RPG Venger Satanis has what? You ever see Octopussy? The movie. That works. Venger Satanis, because the thing. Listen, Venger Satanis confuses me because he's the Cthulhu, he's like the cult of Cthulhu, he's like the real Cthulhu loving guy, but then I saw him he also loves the Trump, and then he was also talking about God. I reached out to him on X. I was on X. I was like, I love this guy. No, I was kidding. It was the Twitter thing. Yeah, see what I did there, the joke there. And I was like, I was going back and forth. I was just like gently ribbing the guy. And I was like, hey, let me interview you. And he was like, blah. He's like, maybe send me some questions. And I was like, oh, I'm not typing questions. What the fuck is that shit? So that didn't happen, but I would have loved to maybe one day we'll speak. I thought about going to VentureCon, but it's like a lot of effort, right? Talk about a lot of juice I could have gotten squeezed. No women, except for one dude's wife, apparently at VentureCon. No way. And it wasn't even Venger's wife. Gotta love that guy. His own wife didn't show up to his con. But I'm not gonna read into that, because I could totally see that being like, honey, you don't have to go. And also, maybe she was sick. You know what I mean? Of dealing with this bullshit. Honestly, listen, if it sounds like I'm teasing Venger, I love being in a world where Venger exists. Also, he's not accused of any specific hate. I mean, look, the guy has deplorable worldviews as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not aware of him like, unlike M.A.R. Barker, I'm not aware of him like, other than writing, posts, on Twitter being like, I've got these, essentially transphobic, homophobic beliefs. I'm not aware of him like, like, I don't know, like, signing a petition where, I don't know, like, you voted for Trump. Like, I'm not going to, like, I mean, like, I'm not one of these guys who's like, you believe things, you fucker. You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, if you beat up someone in a park, if you, like, affirmatively do violence or, run someone over, counter, if you Kyle Rittenhouse somebody, that's when I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm drawing a line. But if you're just like, if you have a belief, and then I'm like, okay, but then if you're Venger Satanis and you make up for it by being, $1 million, person being, you, then I'm like, okay, you're a living work of art, and you're just, you're being you. Anyway, truly an unusual person who has a lifelong career on the internet of being a truly unusual person. We say hello to Renee, Miss Jonaside. pointing out that John goes to football and wrestling without me spending money on something I'm not really into. No. But VengerCon was a convention put on by Venger Satanis, right? I understand that Genocide goes to things without you. I go to concerts without the old lady all the time. But one would think that if I was putting on the show, that she might show up. But maybe not. You know what I mean? But maybe not. But then again, that's not the... Here's the thing. Venger Satanis, independent RPG maker, recently on August 23rd, the day after my 49th birthday, we will get into the numerology. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast. Probably not. I believe it was the 23rd. Let me see. Posted onto their blog a statement regarding their retirement from not gaming, because who would do that? Golden Coin 100. Third in the live chat. You're slipping. Mario Heat joins us. I accept your belated birthday wishes. Thank you. Announced their retirement from game publishing, made a statement. I am the Venger Satanis, the one and only. You grace us and you honor us with your presence, sir. Now listen, Venger, it's you. I believe it. And even if it wasn't, I will believe a lie that it's you. Listen, I hate Donald Trump. But for you, on your retirement, who's a coming for you. Trumpinator. What? Trumpinator nation. Hell no. I ain't gonna vote for no Trump, but I'll listen to what the Cthulhu people say. What? Cthulhu for Trump? No! How could it be? But I must listen. Venger Satanis says, Trump the nation. What's the plan, man? Cornel West or the couch? Cornel West or the couch? Why choose J.D. Vance? No romance. Cornel West or the couch? Sounds like a plan for an H.P. Lovecraft loving man. 2020, 2000. Child my man. It is not a scam, unlike that Kelsey Dion man. I said it. Venger Satanis, God bless you. I don't know. I can't get a feel for this guy, but that's why I love it. Venger Satanis announced, or write an H.P. Lovecraft. You absolutely could. Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, Venger. Anyone but the guy you like. I don't understand it, but I understand it's your right to be you. Venger Satanis decided something the other day. What can we say? He's gotta go his own way. Chalk books in the basement, man. Can't tell his wife about a master plan. She didn't go to the con. Only girl who showed up was with that DD thong. Fuck that guy. Man, I was going to show up to VentureCon, and I was just going there being like, man, I'm not going to want to go to VentureCon, but I'll probably just go for the chicks. Good thing I didn't go. Venture Man, tell us, why did your old lady not go to VentureCon? Was it that you love her too much to make her go? Or was it that she was like, fuck you? I had enough of this bullshit. You go. You got, what time is it? You'll be back here by 6. My wife isn't a gamer. Yo, seriously. Listen, honey, my ex-wife isn't into noise music, but she'll still show up at the gigs. God bless you, Venger. No, honestly. I kid because I love. But you know what I won't kid you about? Yo, man, RPG Pundit, man. No offense, man. That guy does you dirty all the fucking time. His before inappropriate characters, she was watching our 5 kids. Seriously, why didn't they show up? Because you got daughters and you're not going to bring them by those fuck. You know, right? You didn't want to be policing that shit, right? My games are 18 plus. Your games are 18 plus, and the OSR is full of good Christian soldiers who are fucking weirdos, right? And you don't want. I kid because no. I honestly, Venger, I'll tell you the honest truth. There was like, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with my rainbow wig and my pride flags. I'm just showing up. I'm going to show up and represent and be like, my name is Rainbow the Gay Cleric. Wait. Before we attack the dragon, I just want to take a chance. Can I roll for charisma, see if I can communicate on some sort of level with this guy? Before we do that, can I just, anyone who comes to play is welcome to VentureCon. That sounds like a challenge. You're doing it again next year, right? First of all, Venger, I gotta tell you something. Just so you, you gotta, yo, man, Venger, just so you know, I hope you can take jokes because I gotta tell you something. If you go back in my history, man, I give you the business. I give you the business, Venger. I give you the business. No offense. I roast you so many times in the past on this channel because our politics are so different. I've called you. None taken. Well, before you say none taken, just try this one on for size. Chubby LeVay. How do you feel about Chubby LeVay? Vaginal Satanis. That's a good one. Actually, you know what I mean? That could be a compliment, right? There's also variations on Chubby LeVay. Who? I love that. Chunky LeVay. The world's worst Anton LaVey impersonator? No? Who could I be talking about? Couldn't be you. No. Never heard of the guy? He's an obscure guy. I don't know him, right? No, it's like, yeah, who? Never heard of the guy. Anton LaVey impersonator. Why is it that everyone that's into Satanism has a totally unique look that never at all ever looks like anyone? I thought I was the only one. There you go. Come on. There you go. But that's what I'm saying. But it's all in good fun. Hey, please. Anyway, it's a roast. I celebrate. I celebrate the ones we love. And I absolutely listen. All of your YouTube videos, the minute they pop up in my feed, I'm a subscriber. I watch them immediately. And you know, CW Chanter, when I was on Twitter before I ended the Twitter, you know, we went back and forth. Every once in a while I would comment. And I was sorry to see you retire. I was sorry to see you retire. But I could completely understand. And so my take on it is this. What I thought I would do is come out here and just kind of do a take on it. I mean, everyone's read the blog post. I don't know if I need to read it in its entirety, but basically the bottom line is what? It's a simple thing to know. In 2012, you know, you started doing this, or, you know, I think it basically, if I burn it down, it goes something like this. In 2012, you kind of started doing this kind of professionally, you know, publishing the OSR style content. And since then, since that time, you've been putting more blood, sweat, and tears into it and watching, I guess, diminishing returns until finally it got to a point where it wasn't self-justifying anymore doing the publishing of content. And so you're hanging up the spurs as far as the publishing of content is concerned. And, you know, people have come out and speculated why, and could you have done it this way? Could you have done it that way? Should you have done it this way? Should you have done it that way? And when I say the RPG pundit did you dirty, well, look, his take on it, of course, was, well, gee, you know, what kind of guy says to another guy in commenting about, oh, you know, he's had to retire because he says sales are low. Well, my sales are doing, you know, as his sales went down, I guess my sales went up. First of all, you got 5 kids. I guess it must be a little bit easier to live on RPG content creation if you don't have 5 kids, but you just have one elderly cat and you are, you know, in fucking what it would, like Uruguay or whatever. And like, I don't know, like, you know, like much like Pazio, it would be a lot easier to assess what the state of the actual financial industry were if everyone just, instead of just, you know, making vague comments about how much money certain people were making, people would just put their money on the table and say, here's what's going down. Because I saw RPG Pundit do all sorts of stupid financial analysis about, you know, Kickstarter, that article about Kickstarter, just like Ben Minton did over at Questing Beast. And I was like, both these people need an education in economics because they're both misunderstanding what this data is purporting, you know, means. None of it means that the OSR is growing. It may mean that people are, you know, publishing more OSR content here than 5th edition content currently at this moment in time, but none of it indicates that there is, you know, that the OSR is some sort of growth industry. I bet you are experiencing something quite natural. 2012 was 12 years ago. The reason that Dungeons and Dragons, that WotC and whatever are going to digital, if people are thinking that they're going to digital because they're morons who don't understand economics of scale and don't understand the money that they're leaving on the table, the gold that they're leaving on the table for not staying in print publishing, and they're idiots for going to digital and going to, whatever. People don't like it because they like traditional tabletop gaming. I like traditional tabletop gaming. Guess what? I'm old. I like that shit because I'm old. Hasbro and WotC are going in digital directions because they're not, slaves to their childhood passions in their youth. Rather, they have the intelligence to follow trends and patterns and understand, oh, you're also 40. Venger, I just turned 49, so we're on the same page, right? They know what they're doing. They're making wise business decisions in a capitalist, consumer-oriented society. People are upset at them and belly aching because those rational consumer decisions don't jive with people's personal, desires. You know what I mean? The dude that really liked hair metal was really pissed off that the why don't these record companies get it? Nirvana? Pearl Jam? These bands can't write songs. Poison, Motley Crue, Warrant. These guys are songwriters. Man, my little sister tried to get me to see Alice in Chains. These guys barely moved, man. Now Vince Neil, that guy's an entertainer, man. He's moving around. He's dancing. Man, bring back a guy like Diamond David Lee Roth. Man, Diamond David Lee Roth, he was my cherry pie. Venger Satanis knew. Oh, she's my cherry pie. I'm sorry. Do you think 60 in digital D&D will be successful? I don't, but I don't think it'll be successful because, well, it's got something to do with entirely something else. It has to do with, you made a video, you were talking about wanting gaming to go back to where it was in the 90s, which I think it'll go because I'm into nostalgia loops. I think everything is cyclical. We went through the nostalgia boom of the reminiscing about the 80s. That last reminiscing about the 80s was Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, 2014. Go back a couple of decades, that lands right back on the nostalgia loop to 1984. That's why you see Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition lining up perfectly with a nostalgia loop to the 84 and the biggest years for the red box. And that's why you see it lining up with the simultaneous nostalgia of Stranger Things. And that's why there was also the simultaneous success of Critical Role. People want to act like 5th edition was successful because of Stranger Things and because of Critical Role. No, they were all successful because of the nostalgia loop for gaming in the 80s. That's what it was. And now that we're in 2024 and we're going into 2025, the nostalgia loop is not the 80s. We're going into the 90s. We're done with the 80s. It's you're beating a dead cow. That's why everyone's up in arms about Shadow Dark. Oh, please. Please. It's the 99th version of BX D&D. It's the saddest state of affairs. Everyone dancing around acting like this is something new. It is absolutely 100% nothing fucking new at all. It's just, it has a cool name. The cover's black. It's like Dark Souls. That's it. And it's got a girl that nobody knows is, I just learned that she was gay. I literally just learned that. You know what I mean? So, believe you me, there is nothing new under the sun. We are not headed into, RPG Pundit can have all sorts of fantasies about the OSR growing and whatever. None of this is a growth industry. No one is going to be making $1.01 in tabletop role-playing games moving forward. We are the last generation. Is it going to go to zero? Dude, people still make chess sets, right? But there's no one revolutionizing new chess sets. It's all public domain. You know what I mean? No one's making new rules for chess. You know what I mean? You can do it. You want to make a chess set? You want to get involved in, you want to learn chess? You want to play, you want to write a book about chess? Go for it. But no one's going to, have a publishing house just, based on chess. You know what I mean? It just is all, at this point, all public domain. You even see Wizards of the Coast giving up the ghost and putting everything into Creative Commons. When they start doing that, you realize that's why you experienced what you experienced. You can't make money at this stuff as far as the written text, as far as written words. I don't think anymore, because it's an oversaturated market. If you go back to 2012, 2013, 2014, how many people were there publishing games? How many people are there? Now you look at drive-through RPG. If you look at itch.io, if you want to program a game, if you want to program an 8-bit game, even, or a 16-bit style game, man, that's a lot of work. People can do it. Without a doubt, people can do it. But if you want to talk about doing a self-publishing a TTRPG, you could do that in 2 weeks. I mean, from start to finish, like having pretty much no idea what a TTRPG is, to starting to do like research on Wikipedia, to working with ChatGPT, to throwing something together that you can throw on Amazon or itch.io and calling it something, running it through Grammarly once or twice to make sure it's not a total abortion. You can do that. And we all know that people are. What are you going to do? And the amount of stuff that people are just putting out there for free, it just is what it is. It's just an oversaturated, it's like punk rock or like anything else, or like techno, right? I remember it was like 1997, 98, and people were like producing techno demo tapes. Like me and my friends were producing techno demo tapes. And we would show up to like shows and gigs and like DJs, raves and stuff. And we tried to like give tapes to people or give CDRs to people. And they were like, what is it? We'd be like, oh, it's a demo, whatever. They'd be like, we're not taking any more demos. They were like, we're not physically taking any more demos. We're not taking any more demos. From like electronic musicians, we're not taking any more demos. I'd have friends who were like working at record companies. They'd be like, I physically can't take any more tapes. I get on the subway, I try to get off the subway, I've got 15 tapes in my hands. And it's all, and it's like, yeah, it slams with tracks, but like, what are we going to do with this shit? And who's got the time to play this stuff? I'll make my own chess set with blackjack, hookers, and tentacles. Sounds good. Dark Sun meets Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness. Sounds good. You go into the 90s, but remember the 90s for gaming? That stuff was there. TTRPGs existed in the 90s, but it had gone underground to a degree. It was still there, but it wasn't on the news. Like, remember the Satanic Panic of the 80s, or, when D&D was D&D and it was breaking through and people were making movies about it and stuff. And it was on 2020 headline stuff, and it was on articles and everything. It was part of the cultural zeitgeist. Things have to be part of the cultural zeitgeist to make an impact to burn into the memory banks, to come back on the loop, to be significant memories, to be remembered, for people to resurrect and bring back. And the memories coming back will become part of the memories. Like people will remember, a certain percentage of people will remember, Critical Role and Stranger Things or whatever. But a lot of the people that participated in those things were, and we can't trust the numbers. People are saying like, oh, there's more people playing D&D today than there ever were. They say that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. But what do I know? I could be totally wrong. But I do think that as things go forward through time, they don't necessarily go to zero, but things do have a point at which they naturally kind of become less and less potentially attractive to future generations. Like there's still ukulele conventions where people get together and rock and roll on ukuleles. And we know that there was that ukulele resurgence, but then that faded away. We know there was that big band swing resurgence, right? But that petered out, and we don't see too much of that anymore. And people might think that, TTRPGs are evergreen. I don't necessarily know if they are. And I certainly don't think that they're growing or if they're, going to hit a resurgence. I don't think they're going to go away. I just don't know if they're going to hit a resurgence. So I think when you report the numbers that you report, I think that it makes logical sense to me that you would see the numbers that you see, because I think that there's a saturation point for things like the OSR, and I think there's a saturation point for people on Drive-Thru-RPG, where eventually it's just there's too much product. And I think that there's too much product for a limited number of players. I don't think that there's, that these scenes produce new audience members. You're going underground too. Yeah, I mean, I think the underground's the way, where it ends up going. And I think the underground's fine, because I think the underground is, where a lot of healthy things happen. And it's from the underground that things can eventually, reemerge. But I think it's important for people not to be in denial about it, which I think that some people like the guy from Questing Beast and RPG Pundit, might be when they do their non-scientific analysis of Kickstarter campaigns. Which, remember, a Kickstarter campaign means that people with money could have looked at these products and said, I'm going to fund that because that looks like it has money making potential in the market, and said, no, thank you. And when people look at these Kickstarter things and say, oh, this thing Shadow Dark made $2 million on sales on Kickstarter. And it's like, do you have any concept of like what that means in the marketplace of today? Like, people act like that's a lot of sales. I go, do you know what like the sales of like D&D products were back in the day? Because that's the kind of product reach that you need to have if you think that something's going to have big impact and lead to a thriving TTRPG culture, where you have people, new players that are really going to come in and really make a deal and are really going to change a world from a world where everyone thinks that role-playing games are Dungeons and Dragons into something else. Because across the board, if you look at any major metric, it's Dungeons and Dragons and WotC sales. And if you look at the drop-off in play to the next contenders like Call of Cthulhu or Pathfinder or whatever, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like comparing the economy of the United States of America to like the second runner up, which is like, you know what I mean? It's like, like Brazil is like the fifth largest economy in the world. But if you rank those economies, you know what I mean? Do you want to be president of Brazil? Or do you want to be president of the fifth largest company in the United States of America? If you choose to be president of Brazil versus being the president of the fifth largest company in the United States of America, you're an idiot. Because if you're the president of the fifth largest company in the United States of America, I know what it is. It could be like friggin' like Baskin Robbins for all I know. You are living a life of luxury. You are just making more money than you'll ever know what to deal with. And if you were the president of Brazil, your life is hardship and horror story, and you might be making as much money as like, quite possibly the mayor or the governor of like Mississippi. It's like, honestly, it's like a joke, like economics of scale in the world. You know what I mean? Like, people have really no conception of what these things, mean. They just see these silly numbers and they get excited about things. And where the rubber hits the road is the knowledge and understanding that there's life. There's real life. And there's life that sustains. You're 49, I'm 49. If you live to be 80, you know what I mean? If you live to be 85, that's a lot of life. How long are people going to live on putting blood, sweat, and tears, putting 50 hours an hour, putting an additional, 30, 40 hours a week into something that's going to net you an extra $12,000 a year? Do what brings you joy. Do what brings you passion. Maybe you can do it living by yourself in Uruguay with a cat, right? But if you've got a family, $2 million is still a big impact. It's still life-changing for most people. You got $2 million. Yeah, if you got $2 million, you got $2 million. But look, you got to have $2 million in profit. If you make $2 million in sales on Kickstarter, that money is intended to do what? You got to publish those books. You got to print those books. And those books got to go out. If you make $2 million in profit, hell yeah, that you got $2 million in profit. Fuck it. You be golden. Did they make $2 million in profit? If they made $2 million in profit, I guess I'm talking out of my ass. I wasn't aware that people made $2 million in profit. But I was under the impression that people raised $2 million. But that's what I mean about people not understanding how Kickstarter works. But you're right. $12,000 a year is nothing. Most TTRPG publishing houses that have existed since the inception of this industry in 1974, 90, this is a made-up number, of course, 99% of them have done what? Have folded. Some have folded within a couple of months. Some have folded within a year. Some have folded within 2 years. This is like the record industry. This is like being a musician. This is like being an artist. being an author. Many will play. Some will have a hit single. Some will have a couple of albums that are big. Most will have no impact at all. My hat's off to you. You know that you've had fans and that people remember you, and people remember your books. There'll be a reissue. You know what I mean? There you go. Take care, my man. There you go. I gotta go. Life is on my ass again, lol, but definitely back. The KS, Primordial Chaos. There you go. Got kick. Our man Venger Satanis has a Kickstarter. I linked your blog in the live chat, so I'm assuming that everyone get to your links through there. Venger Satanis graced us with his presence. Better days. Tell the wife to send nudes of you. Venger Satanis, ladies and gentlemen, in our live chat. Hey, listen, we got Venger Satanis in the live chat. Renee, shit, Alice Cooper is still moving 2016. I just found out he's touring. There you go. That was cool. There you go. So I'll do this. Here, let me do this. So in honor of Venger Satanis, I'll burn RPG Pundit. RPG Pundit was such a dick. So RPG Pundit covered Venger Satanis' blog, and again, like I said, was like, oh, his sales were down, but my sales have been up. I don't know. Everyone thinks that RPG Pundit is a trust fund baby. I don't know. RPG Pundit made this always makes this big deal about not taking any money from his old man, his dad. I don't know. I don't know what his backstory is, but I know this. I'm a product of inherited wealth. I don't bullshit people. But being the product of inherited wealth, like Donald Trump and other rich kids, I know how people talk when they're the product of inherited wealth. Whenever a person goes out of their way to be like, I never took money from this specific individual, like I never took money from my father, it's always like, you always have to point out that like it's very easy to say that when you didn't have to take money from your old man, your father, like a particular person, because you already had inherited money from like your grandma or your grandfather who died, or because there's already a trust fund already set up, right? Because RPG Pundit makes this big deal about living, just doing the RPG stuff, the RPG content full time. And I have no idea how he can do that, because the guy that works for Steven Glicker, the guy that does the co-host sometimes Roll for Combat, the guy who, I think his name is Mark Stifler, something like that, who basically did like, I think like a quarter of Pathfinder 2nd Edition rules. That guy has a day job, okay? The guy who worked at Pazio doing a lion's share of Pathfinder 2E has a day job. That's my understanding, okay? Pazio, besides for 2 people, my understanding is all like satellite people. Like they don't have even a main office, right? Like they're like, it's all like satellite workers. Whatchamacallit? Monty Cook Games doesn't have a physical office, and they do everything. Steve Jackson Games relies on Kickstarters to get a lot of their product going. Steve Jackson Games. There's no fucking money in this fucking thing, in this industry. So I'm not saying that anyone is lying. I'm just saying that people's capabilities of living on certain amounts of money may vary from person to person based on their particular economic needs and what other stuff they've got going on. Chris Gonerman, who does basic fantasy role-playing game, puts that shit out for free. Why? He can't afford to because he's got his whole fucking job. You know what I mean? And my understanding is he makes more I think he's got one of these jobs where he makes more money than Jesus. You know what I mean? And the same thing with that guy, Matt Finch. He doesn't make the majority of his money from Swords and Wizardry or whatever. He's got he's one of these investment guys or whatever. Shawner. Here we go. Shawner. Not many people make products without first doing crowdfunding. It's crazy not to crowdfund. That might very well be the case. Hold on 1 second. Gotta do this. That might very well be the case, but that economic reality goes to show you that this industry is a niche hobby, truly hobby industry. Because crowdfunding wouldn't be required if it was economically viable and turned a profit. Oh, God. Power's out of my place. Okay. Don't make a bunch of books without knowing if you have customers. It is what it is. But then what might end up happening is, well, you have the print on demand part. Well, here we go. It does also make sure you have YouTube customer base too. Well, YouTube customer base, forget about that. You know what I mean? What's a YouTube customer base? Your YouTube customer base is what? You know what I mean? Because that can go in that, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. You don't want to be locked into print on demand. You also have, built in, they will come. You also have the problem of crowdfunding where you have the number of crowdfunding projects that get started up, get funded, and the products never go out. Or people get the products a bajillion years later. If we talk about meritocracies and the meritocracies of a capitalist marketplace, one could potentially argue, and I'm going out on a limb here, this is just almost like a thought experiment, to argue this. If you can't get a product, or you might want to say this, have a product that's, if you can't get a product where, maybe it's not worth the argument. But look, I mean, I just think basically, crowdfunding is what it is. I mean, people can crowdfund if they want to. It is what it is. But it goes to show you that people don't have standing deals with the pre-existing marketplace of an established network of friendly local game stores that you could rely on to put your product out, sell your product to a pre-existing environment of gamers, what have you. It is what it is. It just goes to show you that it's niche. Know the business model first before paying up front. It is what it is. Yeah, 2 years later after you forgot you supported something. Kelsey's that her name showed her business model to her audience before she kickstarted her Shadow Dark. I'm not aware of that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But when it comes to, first of all, when it comes to Shadow Dark, my take on Shadow Dark is this. people are essentially excited about yet another edition of the same game that you've been playing for nigh on 50 years. And people complained about the Dungeons and Dragons books and WotC's books being too expensive. Yet those books are very, very expensive for what they are. I mean, they look nice. They're beautiful books, but they essentially are information that is freely available elsewhere. And whatever the business model is, the business model is. I mean, what is the business model? The business model is you pay this much, and then we'll send you the book. Yeah, you kickstart it. You buy the book, you pay this much money up front, the book is printed, and you get the book. Different Kickstarters are different Kickstarters, and they're, they could be adjudicated, as good or bad on their own merits. It doesn't change the fact that people are having to pay up front to fund the production of products, the production of which used to be handled previously by other people in the food chain. It used to be that publishers handled the production of product, and then they would come to the market, and then people would just say, here's a product that has been made. I'll look at it, and then I'll buy it. Now that doesn't happen. And why that doesn't happen is the people in the food chain that used to put the money up front, the publishers, are no longer willing to do that. And the reason they're no longer willing to do that is because the sales no longer justify doing that. DCDM kickstarted a game before they had a game, and they still got funded, right? Whatever. That's because people are morons. And it goes to show you that people are just are out there just dying to buy product. Even though, hey, I could be wrong, and I could be projecting. Here's my 2-cent analysis. You went down the FKR rabbit hole a little bit, right? Everything written since approximately, being generous, 1984-85, it's all splat books. It's all bullshit extraneous information that is just justifying consumer habits of people that feel compelled to buy something rather than doing the hard work of just doing what they supposedly want to do, which is play role-playing games. Because when you actually think about it, if you just kind of read maybe tops 2 or 3, maybe 4 good rule sets, covering, the basics of games and how to play them, you'll pretty much get what role-playing games are about and how to do it. And then you'll just be able to do it yourself. And certainly with the aid of, just talking to people that are into it too, really, really be able to do it. And now that we're online and you can read people's notes and blog posts or whatever, there really is no reason to buy anything. And yet, year after year, people buy more and more, generally repetitive shit. Oftentimes predicated and based on the fact that oftentimes stuff that is sold as this is just like and fully compatible with this other thing, meaning it literally is the same stuff. $28 people show up to VengerCon, not 1,000 people. True. It's apropos of nothing. I don't know, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. And so, again, I don't think anything will go to zero. I don't think it needs to. I don't want it to. All I desire, like William S. Burroughs invited people to do, eat the naked lunch. They already own the books he was selling. We all own the books that everybody is selling. It's all a fan meetup. Shadow Dark is not doing anything new. Baptism of Fire. It's like, you know what I mean? I get it. They're Polish. It's still the same old shit. I mean, it's just like, come on. It's like, this is all the same. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But look, we're all buying the same shit over and over again. And it's, and FYI, and in case you're curious, there will be new kids. Oh, that's the real-time torch roll. I forgot. Oh, that's true. That's true. If only damn it, I don't have it here. And as we all know, there's never been a rule regarding torches burning out prior to Kelsey Dionne's brilliant Shadow Dark. Everything is bullshit. You don't need to buy anything except maybe G-Class Republic by Shoner's favorite game publisher, R. Joshua Holland, aka Total Party Skills. I still buy shit. Shoner, did you see Total Party Skills? My coverage of Total Party Skills, bragging about the fact this is G-Class Republic. This is one of the latest. I believe this is the latest. Do you still like Total Party Skills? I know you were into that for a while. You have the Girls Gone Vampire books. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've only scratched the surface, but I'm looking forward to it. This is recommended for readers 16 plus. I don't know how they make that distinction, but we'll see. Anyway, I don't want to go from one controversial quasi-conservative. I know that's, believe you me. I want to make you happy. When I got, when I put this on my birthday list, I was like, well, Shauner will be happy. Shauner. I gave you a shout out on my last live play. Anywho, it is what it is, folks. Final thoughts on Venger Satanis's retirement. A shame to see Venger go. What do I have by Venger Satanis? I have I don't, not having the stuff in front of me. I don't have any of the big hardcover books. What did Pundit do, if anything? Oh, Pundit was just he was like of course when he gave when he announced Avengers send off, he said he couldn't help himself but say, oh, Avengers sales are down, so I guess that's why he's leaving. And then had to say that his sales were doing excellent, were through the roof. Though he didn't mention any specific numbers. Though he did mention making $200 a month from his YouTube channel. Is what it is. And then, which I thought was, I'll just say this, Venger Satanis. If I was Venger Satanis and I saw RPG Pundit's video, I would have walked away and not done the final episode of Inappropriate Characters. I would have been like, that's Pundit, all right. Or I would have been there and I would have been like, what are your actual sales? Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I am sure. Oh, but I will say that. Also say this. There was a great. I saved up some another RPG Pundit moment. I was gonna play the video possibly, but I didn't want to go search for it. There was a great video of RPG Pundit. I'll share 2 moments. There was a great video with RPG Pundit where he was I guess trying to make fun of Venger Satanis, because Venger Satanis was Venger Satanis has a family. Venger Satanis has a wife and 5 kids. Also, Venger Satanis has a real estate license in Wisconsin, wherever he lives, right? Venger Satanis has a quote unquote day job, right? His life. He also has a house, right? He has a car, like a minivan with kids. He has a life, right? Whereas RPG Pundit, in addition to his non-guru, Quijang thing, also is the RPG Pundit and living in Uruguay with a cat, right? RPG Pundit made a video where he was like, God, I almost want to search for it. Where am I going to search for it? Yeah. Who should I? Where it was basically, he was like, yeah, Venger Satanis, thinks he's got like a life, whatever. He doesn't have a life. I have a life because while Venger Satanis is like, I'm gonna fucking look for it. I'm sorry. Please, Jesus, let me find it. If I find it, it'll be the best day of my life. Hold on. Bear with me. It's just precious. Because he's basically like, I get to fly all over the astral plane while Venger Satanis is like trapped in this workaday humdrum life of having to be a parent and a husband. That's a drag. Whereas I get to be in the world of imagination. And I you know what I mean, like I've practiced ceremonial magic, like I get it, like you know what I mean, but at the same time, uh let me see if I can find the video. Hold on. It'll take me like 10,000 years. It'll be like a search, but if I find it, I will be like in seventh heaven. Of course, this is stuff I could have all done in advance, but I did not know if I was actually going to go for it. But in the name of Venger Satanis, but I will say this about Venger Satanis. I'll say this. I won't say that like Venger Satanis is like, if I was Venger Satanis, I wouldn't hang out with RPG Pundit but then again, like maybe maybe Venger Satanis like just says like knows that it's like the guy's a total dweeb, so like it doesn't offend him. But I'm the kind of guy, like if RPG Pundit like talked about me the way RPG Pundit talks about Venger Satanis, I wouldn't hang with him. I'd be like, I'm not gonna hang with you if you talk about me that way. I'd be like, what? Where's this? RPG. Where are you, douche? Am I not subscribed to him on this thing? You gotta be kidding me. There's no way I'm not subscribed to him. Here we go. Oh, because I didn't look it up under Casimir Urbanski. God. Oh God, this is gonna take me 10,000 years. How am I gonna find this thing? Oh God, what would it be called? This is gonna be a nightmare. Oh my God. Oh God, that one. Oh geez, there's so many good ones. Oh God, how would I find it? God, how would I find it? Jesus Christ. Would I find it through Jesus Christ? It was just so good. It was just so good. Real versus fake OSR. That might have been it. Oh my God. Oh God. Holy shit. It was just so good. It was just so good. Da 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 da. Keep on doing it. So what we're doing, folks, just in case you know, I'm searching desperately for the video where RPG Pundit makes an ass out of himself trying to make fun of Venger Satanis for having a family, in which he implies that he's better than RPG Pundit, better than Venger Satanis for having a family because while Venger Satanis has to waste his time. Oh, here we go. Stupid Gonzo ain't what it used to be. Chalt Fuchsia Malaise. This might be it. Hold on. Let's see if this is it. Well, this is certainly him reviewing. We're going to take a chance that this might be it because it's him certainly reviewing a Chalt thing by Venger Satanis. So we're going to take the video on Mythic. No. It's not even the video on Mythic Dungeons. No, this is older. Let's see if this is it. Let's see if this is it. This predates that mistake. This predates that mistake by a million years. Hold on.
Put my pipe aside here. Today, I am doing a review of Chalt Fuchsia Malaise. And to get started on this, I suppose what I should
fair use.
Well,
the purpose of this is not to demean, make fun, or mock anybody except RPG Pundit. I'm kidding. I kid because I love. We're showing love for Venger Satanis. Venger Satanis retired. Oh, come on. RPG Pundit, don't you love Venger Satanis? Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Oh, we all love Venger Satanis. Come on now. Come on. Hey. Fair use, transformative work, editorial review, news you can use to abuse and research people in the RPG community, comedy, gold, possibly. It's research in real time. Huh? Shonner, come on. What? No. Total party skills, only one way to find out. Did the RPG pundit rip off Total Party Skills? Did he? We don't know. Is the answer in this video? I don't think so. But there's only one way to find out.
Say is that I've been thinking a bit about the nature of like gonzo fantasy, right? And
because you're a degenerate. That's what the basic expert would say, right? Why have you been thinking about the gonzo aspect of the OSR? So you're a degenerate. No, I'm kidding. The basic expert. So basic.
If you make a spectrum of, say, post-apocalyptic fantasy RPGs that could theoretically classify under gonzo, there's kind of two axes by which you have to judge them.
That's an assumption.
And one is the level of weirdness, and the other is the level, let's say, of consistency. Those are two different things, right? So
that is just that makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. There's two axes in which you can judge gonzo post-apocalyptic RPGs. Weirdness and consistency, was that it? What?
From one place, you have the spectrum of like extremely weird to the point of, let's say that's where you can have a range from almost cartoonishly weird all the way over to just kind of strange and unusual, but not bizarre. And then on the other side, you have the level of consistency, which can be from a really carefully organized world that has perfect sense to it and that you can understand why everything happened the way it happened, and why it works the way it works, to one where there seems to be very little care. It looks as though the creator of the world just did an alphabet soup and threw some Scrabble tiles and then made up some names and put everything in whatever order he felt like, and it doesn't really have any consistency at all, right? So those are the lines of the spectrum, right? And so if you took the big games that are the game settings that are connected to that, let's say, for example, you could have like Dark Sun, and you could have Chalt, you could have The World of the Last Sun, and you could have Gamma World. And all of these would have varying levels, and in some cases varying by edition when it comes to Gamma World, of just how weird it is, and also to some extent how consistent it is, right? And so what I'm getting to with this is that sometimes there is a change in the level of it, and that's I think what we see here with Chalt Fusion Malaise. Because like the last video I did when I reviewed Chalt, the main book of this weird gonzo fantasy setting, I stood it up as an example of what I called stupid gonzo, right? And I didn't mean that just as an insulting remark. I was defining it as a genre, that it was different, for example, from
gonzo,
a
not
gonzo that is very rationalized and very consistent. It has some weird things in it, but it's still designed with a coherent concept, which would a great example would be Dark Sun. And Dark Sun, not just strangenesses, but I think that there's now a growing coherence and consistency forming in the setting, right? Like it's starting to tie together. Is undoubtable. It is don't know how long it is. It's 300 and something, I think, pages, or 200 and
I might get that book.
230 or so pages. So it's smaller, as you can see, than Dark Albion. Larger, obviously, than my relatively small Lion and Dragon. But
sorry,
the quality of the book is really good. I want to point out there's, if you don't have the sleeve is nice, but the actual cover is also really damn nice. So that's something very impressive. Hats off to you for that, Venger. I'll mention another thing that I noticed as I was turning pages. I sometimes had to I must have grabbed more than one page. And no, it's just that's the thickness of the paper, right? So this is thick paper. It's got a very nice consistency to it. All of it is like full color. So this is a
much better thing
quality product in terms of its basic structure. Here you have, for example, a complete map,
and of course I'm making an ass out of myself
of the Chult region, right? And I mean, it's not. It's a very figurative map, right? It does native Chaltians to work the mines, and in exchange these ultra simple stat rocks.
Oh God,
big chungus stuff. Some of which is going to be good. Some of which you can pick over. A lot.
For the love of Jeff,
what's the deal? Do you guys actually want Chult to make sense, or do you want to revel in it having no sense at all?
I want to revel in having no sense at all. And more importantly than that, I want to get to the
mark different areas. Galactic Empire people or whatever. I don't remember. Federation, I think they are. I don't know.
Okay.
Knowing him, he might not. He might just be making it all up as he goes along, and I would explain why his rule writing is generally not that great.
Oh, come on.
Next, you have Chult Ascended. Than in the past, but still isn't really there. So I'm not sure if anyone should trust his opinion of how to do the OSR.
You get this
to start to get an idea what the OSR is, and in this book,
my God,
he does better at it than in the past, but still isn't really there. So I'm not sure if anyone should trust his opinion of how to do
I don't know why.
OSR. Anyways, one thing he does mention is he hopes to one day soon complete the third and final book of the Chult trilogy, Chult Chartreuse Shadows. Okay. So there you go. Expect that this product improves Chult or doesn't, because I'm not a big Chult fan, right? I think if it was from my perspective, it gives Chult more coherence. It creates more detail to the backstory. It explains certain things. It has a couple of areas now that are basically much less silly areas than usual. It still has a lot of the big failings, right? The Venger's dungeons have no internal consistency, right? If you like dungeons that have an ecosystem, where things in one room influence things in another room, or things in one series of rooms influence other areas. This is not, Venger's just not your writer, period, right? This is definitely not your product. What you do get in Venger's dungeons are complete goofy randomness, to the point that there's stuff that probably there's no good way to explain how it's in a certain room. Some things that probably couldn't get out of a certain room, and they're just stuck there, right? It's like the dragon in the they're the 40 by 40 room that only has 5 foot tall doors. It's that sort of thing. And so if you want really coherent, cleverly crafted dungeons that have an internal rationality to them, this is not your product. If you like crazy, wacky dungeons, you're not worried by the fact that you're going to go from one room to the other, and there's going to be stuff there that are literally next door, but don't seem to have any effect on each other. There are people
for Christ's sake.
You got to go kill everybody in there, because I still think that Fire Station Aleph is better than Alpha Blue. And what? Anyways, I guess that's basically it. I will say that this is not a bad product at all. It's done. It's done its job, I think.
This is not the video
as far as the purpose for which people who buy Venger stuff use it.
Fuck my mother. This is not the video I was looking for. Fuck me. Now I'm on a fucking quest. Now I'm gonna find this fucking video. Now I'm gonna find this goddamn video. Holy crap. I can't believe that this is, and we're never gonna find it. I'm never gonna fucking find it. I'm never gonna find it. I can't believe I'm never gonna find this. How the fuck would I find this video? I'm never gonna find this. Holy shit. And the dead air is going to just kill everybody. 3 occult campaigns that aren't just Cthulhu. I apologize. No, I'm just listening to videos trying to figure out if I find one. God damn it. Oh my God. Holy shit. I can't believe this happened to me. Hold on. Hold on. Did I find it? Oh God. Oh Christ. It's not happening. I can't do this. This is just be the death of me. This is just the worst. This is just the worst. I can't believe I'm doing this. Why do I keep on going down this hole? That's what she said. That's what he said. Oh God. Just tell me. Just say. Just have it in there. Just say like inappropriate characters emergency in the hunters. What is this? Holy crap. I can't believe this. This is the worst. I know. I apologize. I apologize to the audience. This is just the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I apologize. This is just the worst. Anyway, why don't I just tell you what he did? Why don't I just tell you what he said? Why do I keep on doing this? Oh crap, maybe this is it. RPG pundits tips for making a living writing RPGs. This could be it. I'm just gonna take the risk that this is it. This is pundit. Pundit is on the wrong side of the living underworld debate. This is the worst. Share screen. Oh, Sam Shadow. Shauner's in the live chat.
Today, back a bit. There we go.
Let's pray.
Today I'm gonna talk to you about something a little different. And it's that I've had, for some reason, maybe I don't know, it's time of the season or something. I don't know why. Maybe it's something that someone mentioned somewhere. I've had several people all at once contact me privately, right? Either on, private message on Twitter or on the RPG site.
Transformative work, fair use,
in other contexts, asking me how, what would be the way, what's the path to make a living in RPGs, right? You guys,
I'm skipping around.
Suits for other things, but it's and the amount I'm earning, which continues to grow to my astonishment every single month.
So RPG. See, here's the thing. I don't know what people make in RPG publications. I have no idea. RPG Pundit makes a big deal about being able to live just on RPG money. I'll always point this out. In a world where most people that I know, not personally, but that I know of in the TTRPG space, with the exception of people, with the rare exception of a few select people like Matthew Glicker at Roll for Combat and like two people at Pazio and friggin' the main guys at Wizards of the Coast. The vast majority of people we all hear about in TTRPG land all have fucking day jobs. Except RPG Pundit. And to hear RPG Pundit say it, he's making money hand over fist. But stop. Sorry, to hear him say it, but we all know that RPG Pundit is not like, he's not, you know what I mean? He's not Pazia. He's not, you know what I mean, Pathfinder 2. He's RPG Pundit. God bless him. So I'm not calling him a bullshitter because I've got no basis to really call him a bullshitter. But at the same time, I understand that he's got the gold seller, whatever, on RPG, drive through RPG or whatever. But at the same time that I know he's got that status, I've heard other people that have had that status also say that they've got fucking day jobs.
Month pretty much it has for the last while. Maybe it'll start to level out now. I don't know, maybe, but so far it hasn't really. It's been slowly gaining every month, and that's lovely. It's a very very much enough that, contrary to what happened for me for many years in the past, I can be safely covering all of my necessities and having more money left over after that at the end of each month, right? So this is,
I gotta tell you, because also when he talks about, when he actually mentions amounts, they don't make sense for that. I mean, even though he's living in fucking Uruguay, there's a reason why a lot of Americans will retire to Mexico or Guam or Guatemala and shit, because your dollars, your whatever will stretch. Even still. But also, I gotta tell you something. He was reporting. He's from Alberta. He was reporting there were temperatures that he was encountering that were 120 degrees. You know what I mean? God damn.
To me, I mean, I'm a person of simple needs. I'm not a high spending person. I live a bit of a monastic lifestyle almost, right? My biggest probably luxury that I spend money on is tobacco. I don't even buy a lot of pipes anymore, so there's not even pipes. And I don't own a car, I don't have kids, so I don't have some big expenses that other people might have. But gaming let me buy my own house, and it's made it so that I'm living here where I am in Uruguay. I would say I'm living a very comfortable middle class lifestyle, besides the fact that here most of the middle class is up to their noses in debt, and I have no debt at all. So there is that, right? So anyways, a bunch of people asked me, and I figured I'd better try my best.
Give us life advice on how to live.
Tell you what to do.
If you're living a
obviously,
lifestyle in Uruguay,
part of the issue here is that there would be one simple answer, which is be the RPG pundit, right? If you're the RPG pundit, you can pull this off, right? But that's not a very helpful answer to other people.
It's not a helpful answer at all.
I do think the fact that I am who I am, that I had my blog, that I did the RPG site, all those things. It was a long term. Before I even wrote my first game, it's a long term. It gave me a long term fame / notoriety that made me a name. And I think one of the examples of where that is very clearly to my advantage is that, for example, I don't have to self-publish, right? So one of the things I would advise to people is become a self-publisher, right? But I don't need to do that because I'm the RPG pundit, right? So people know that my books are going to sell, which means I don't have to go to the effort. There are people out there that like the publishing side of things. They like putting together a pretty book and putting the pictures in and figuring out the layout and knowing.
If this is not the thing, I'm going to shit myself.
Number one is make consistently good gaming products.
Okay.
Consulting work, who are people that are like, I've never done an RPG before. I want to do this RPG.
Do consulting work.
You might not be the game that's could be D&D. Like, check out my Exiled in Eris.
Oh, God damn it.
Even for people you don't like, right? And this doesn't sound like business advice. This sounds a little bit like ideological advice, right? But in point of fact, this is business advice, right? Now I'm saying, let's say even people you don't like, you don't have to endorse them, but you have to defend their right to speak and not be blacklisted or canceled, right? And if you do this, you're going to be dumped on by the SJWs, by the totalitarians, right?
Okay.
Any of the other, Twitter clones, you can.
Oh, by the way, they just arrested.
My patrons have been increasing lately. Maybe for people that have bought every single book I've made, and they can't buy any more books, so they want to keep supporting me. That okay. People will come after you at some point sooner or later.
Oh God.
Got multiple different publishers that are there.
Oh God.
Potential SJW totalitarian tactics, but also in exposing the lies, the subterfuge of those who are attacking you. You have to laugh at them and mock them, and you have to call on your fans and fellow creators for support. And if you attacked, it's outright lies or not.
Well, this wasn't it. God damn it.
Or, Amazon or Lulu. Those books.
Here's the fucking cat.
Nobody. I think there's a half dozen people that make a living off games, But if you're determined to do it, I think that's the formula to try it. So I guess that's it for today. I've already given you guys the basic blurb about my book.
Oh, I don't like that video because it's not the video I was looking for. I'm going to find this fucking video. I swear to Jesus. I'm going to find this video if it kills all of us. I'm not going to stop until I find this fucking video. And you know what it's going to be? We're going to find the video and it's going to be like one sentence. And I've already told it to you 3,000 fucking times. He says, oh, Venger Satanis, oh, whatever. He's got a family and he has to take care of his family. Meanwhile, the joke's on him because while he's taking care of his family, I'm out here traveling the astral planes. And I'm like, you're an idiot because he has a family that loves him and they care about him and they're going to remember him when he dies because he's dad and you're traveling the astral plane, which is, no offense. I've practiced ceremonial magic. I've traveled the astral planes. We've all traveled the astral planes. We know what that means. Listen, I know that there's practice and ceremonial magicians in the audience with me tonight. Okay? It works the exact same way that prayer works for Christians in your fucking mind. Okay? No one does the shit that you see in the fucking movies. Oh, it does. You really do raise something up from another world. You do, absolutely. Is it like blah, 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 like something in the movies? No, because it doesn't actually work. You travel the astral planes. Yeah, in your fucking imagination. Would you rather have that, or would you have someone come? You're my daddy, and I love you, and you're my dad, and you're my husband, and I love you, and that's an actual fucking life, right? That's the point. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking find this, and it kills me. In the name of vaginal Satanis, I'm gonna find this. Gonzo D&D do's and don'ts. Could that be it? Oh god, you fucker. RPG Pundit reviews Chalt masterpiece of stupid Gonzo fantasy. Might this be it? Oh, and all this with this final internet. Except me, I'm John the Real Wizard. Okay, there you go. It's with you.
Dungeon Crawl Adventure by Venger Satanis. Before
Again,
we start,
fair use,
a
fair use,
little
fair use.
personal
In the
note
name of
for my
vaginal
fans.
Satanis,
If you haven't
thou
found out about this
shalt
yet,
be avenged.
my Medieval Authentic Companion is now officially out. It is now available
closet?
in
So proud
print.
of you
You
and
can
your
get it from
RPG
Spectre
Pundit
Press. The
product.
link is going to be in the description below. And
Fucker.
it is a fantastic book. It's 266 pages, full of material of medieval authentic rules, modifications, classes,
How would you know?
setting
Were
stuff,
you ever in the medieval time?
advancement opportunities, and lots of magic stuff that you can use to give a more medieval feel to your OSR, D&D, or Lion and Dragon, or any other type of
how
fantasy game that
fantastic.
is kind of old
Give it a
school related.
medieval feel.
There's a lot of good material in there, so be sure to check it out. And
God
if you
bless
do that,
RPG
that's a
Pundit.
great way to support me and my channel, as well as sharing this video. So don't forget to share this video too.
I'm sharing it
Second
right
little
now.
note. Chalt is written, as I mentioned, by Venger Satanis. Venger Satanis is my co-host on Inappropriate Characters, which is our other channel. And if you don't know about it, you should do a search for it and add it right away, because it's really funny. It's a good show. But I should point out, I had nothing to do with the production of this book. I make no money from this book. I was not paid to do this review or in any other way incentivized. And I'm coming forward and pointing out that he's my co-host in the show just for the purpose of transparency. But if you've watched that show, you can be pretty sure that if there's something to razz Venger about, I'm going to razz him, right? So you can be pretty certain that my review is going to be fairly honest.
Good.
So, first of all, Chalt is, like I said, basically a setting book. It's a gonzo fantasy type of setting book. And it's a setting book that is ostensibly, he advertised it thoroughly as being an OSR game or OSR compatible. And then in other circles, he advertised as being a 5th edition compatible type of game. And so, which is it? Because also we know previous products of his that claim to be OSR were not.
Again,
so is this OSR or not? Well, that's one of the key things I'm going to answer here. One thing I'll point out is the book is fantastic. It's like, you can see here, this is hardcover.
Yeah, like
the pages are all glossy, high quality paper. The color is good. It's intense. The design is
that's great.
Really, really well made. So basically, this is the
only thing would make this video better.
A fine product in terms of the production value. Like it's really spectacular. My Medieval Authentic Companion, for example, has got nice production.
Here we go.
Conflict. You get a fair.
If this is a video that I've already watched with you guys,
the mutation table is, I guess, okay. It's better than a lot of Venger's random tables in that this has got a lot of is like really pop culture-y. So like, this is called the Kingdom of Gillette. It's a matriarchy where women have enslaved men and cyberware and stuff. And of course the Dune reference. Which is not an OSR system, so he was basically lying to us. And it's better than doing some kind of half-assed, over systemizing.
Whatever, dude.
But lots of good stuff. As you can see, the art quality is good. You get some monsters, some factions.
Can we get to the part where you make an ass out of yourself?
That on the one hand, Venger has enough, kind of knowledge of the 5e system, and on the other hand, really doesn't think things through or care one or the other. It's like recommended somewhere later on here that your character should start at level 3, which is a bit of...
God damn it.
Oh, wait, no, there's a little bit more. There's sort of like 3 different levels, right? The first is not gonzo, right? Whether it's like mainstream fantasy or stuff like medieval authentic fantasy, like My Lion and Dragon. There's no gonzo in those products. Then you have like standard weird gonzo fantasy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And then you have like stupid weird gonzo fantasy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Venger Satanis, I don't think he could make a non-gonzo game to save his life. I really doubt it. I don't think he's got it in him, right?
Okay.
I've taken a bunch of his stuff from the review books he's given me. I've cannibalized them and I've remade them into something slightly less stupid and put them into my game, right? And again, I want to reemphasize that I'm not
like I would not hang with this
make
dude.
light.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta tell you something. This is basically, would you hang with a guy who was like, oh man, this guy, like, oh yeah, he sent me some of his material. Yeah, I worked with Sam Shadow. I hung out with Sam Shadow a couple of times, man. He sent me they sent me some of their tracks, and I was just like, man, the drums were weak, and the vocals were bullshit. So I just I sampled a couple of the things, and I got some some snare sounds out of it, and some of the vocals were weak, but I flipped them and reversed them. And they were running a wow. And I made some tracks out of it, and made some beats, and did something that worked with it. Made it good. Would you then appear on a podcast with me after I did you dirty like that? You know what I mean? I would just not hang with you. You know what I mean? What the fuck? You know what I mean? I just wouldn't hang with you. I don't care if you're fucking Led Zeppelin. I don't care if you're Jimmy fucking Page. If you fucking, just like absent. I'll tell you honest to God. There have been people that were like bigger, like when I was in, goth bands and stuff. There were times. There was a time. I'm not going to name names. There was a time when we were at an event for a label, minor, but major goth label. And there was a singer for a band that said to me and the guitarist in the band that I was in, words to the effect of, we saw you play. I thought you were trash, but you played, so you can come into the VIP. We looked at each other and we looked at him and we turned and we walked. Oh, we can come into the VIP even though you just fucking trashed us? Nah, that's cool. He's fucking
Venger's ability to do gonzo, or
not saying that
the quality of his work when I say stupid gonzo fantasy. I'm saying that there's this genre
being like, RPG Pundit is that big a fucking tool. He lives by himself in Uruguay with his fucking cat. I got a wife and kids and a life. This guy is a fucking, I'll hang with the guy because whatever.
Stupid gonzo fantasy. It's not actually easy to do really well because you can. The whole remainder of the book is this black pyramid. So what is the black pyramid? It's this massive kind of pyramid in the middle of Chult that has, all the really badass stuff in it. Like, it's your standard premise for a mega dungeon. I'd say Wandering Monsters table. This is clearly the bulk of his main effort here. The NPCs that you can encounter in the
You know what the best part of this stuff
layout
is? It's
of
not
the pyramid
medieval
itself.
authentic.
But it's kind of because I think it's supposed to be like weird multi-dimensional qualities to the areas, right?
Holy shit.
Like again, this is like very specific taste of humor.
Awesome.
Have gotten in another place that you can use, but for the most part, these rooms are each their
They all look awesome. Oh my god. Just get to the part where you make an ass out of yourself.
Gonzo, but not stupid Gonzo. Then check out my RPG Pundit Presents Gonzo stuff.
No. I'm never going to check out any RPG.
If you just don't like Gonzo, well, check out something else. Maybe my medieval authentics or stuff. But like, if you enjoy it, if you find this stuff funny, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with D20 and been doing on inappropriate characters a couple of times. You can go and check those out to learn more about how he uses the system. And you should, if you watch it, you should also turn on the live chat so you can see all my commentary, because I was in the peanut gallery making fun of the whole thing.
Oh, great.
And yeah, here we are, these guys' backer names. I'll mention that this was a part of a successful Kickstarter. Now, Venger's got another Kickstarter that he's doing for a supplement to Chalt. So there is going to be more material. I mean, he milked the Alpha Blue for years, so I'm pretty sure he's going to milk Chalt for years too. And that I know that new
RPG Pundit
the mob something or other. I forget what it's called, but I'm going to put a link to it on the description if I remember. If I remember, it'll be right at the very top, and then the link to the OSR.
How long have I been doing this?
Medieval Authentic Companion.
You know it's not going to be this video.
But yeah, so it's already been funded, and you can check that out. And so like he's going to have more products along this line if this is something that interests you, and if additional products is something that matters, right? So in the end, it's just my bookmark there. What to say about Chalt? Well, production-wise, absolutely top-notch, right? Like 100% full marks, really high. A game that is OSR compatible. And he's put a lot of effort into it, and has made a number of very detailed, and would love to have that sort of thing. You know, your gaming group would love that sort of thing. Then this is definitely a product to get, and it's as simple as that. This is made for a specific audience of people that like a specific style, different level of being slightly more serious. Right? It's got some fun stuff that is pretty much the opposite of Gonzo, and which proves that you can like both things, right? I like both, so you know, somebody might like byproducts, might like.
Holy shit! And you know, I skipped over whatever it was. My fucking god! I'm gonna find this fucking video. I swear to God. Oh God! This is terrible. This is terrible, but I'm going to give one more. We're going to take one more shot at it. I have three, a Queen of Swords, 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords. I got nothing. Well, 10 of Wands is exhaustion. I've got the Queen of Swords. So it's like I'm emotional about an intellectual pursuit. It's burdening me. And I feel like there's an act of deception, like it's hiding from me. But wait. Hold on. God. God. God damn it. I'm back like 3 years ago. Hold on. This can't possibly be. I'm like way off. Where could I? Okay. Hold on. Hold on. God. My God. Oh God. Oh God. Son of a bitch. Okay. There's another one though, where RPG Pundit pretends that a book that a box set that he bought him for himself was given to him by someone else, but that's like it's speculation. Oh, here we go. Wait. There's something called Venger, you ignorant slut. That could be it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We can take a shot. We know that that's talking about Venger, so that's a possibility. That's it. I don't know. Let's take a shot. At least it mentions Venger in the title, so we got something to go on. Oh, for the love of Jeff. Pimp Bisquick. Okay, I'm watching a guy read tarot text, maybe. Not even. This has been a 2-hour stream, essentially the majority of which has been me searching through RPG Pundit videos at random, trying to find him making an ass out of himself for saying a particular thing that I just keep on telling you what he said. You've been brought up to speed. This is our last attempt. This is what passes for entertainment today? No, because it doesn't pass and it's not entertaining. Are you not entertained? No. No, you are not. On the plus side, we knocked down the sun sphere. Folks, for our last attempt, here's what we're looking for. RPG Pundit, my hand to God, made a video. And if this is not the video, we are going to play the video where he does absolutely RPG Pundit bought himself the box set. I swear to God, I'm going to play it. This is my assumption. You can tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong. Here's what I think. Well, let's see if we get lucky. If we get lucky, this is going to be the video where RPG Pundit makes fun of Venger Satanis for Venger Satanis having a family and a wife, implying that RPG Pundit is the real winner because whereas Venger Satanis has to do the lame thing of being a oh man, it sucks for you because you got this wife and kids, where I get to live this awesome life of being by myself, where I can do anything I want to on the astral plane, traveling all around in the astral plane, Translation, that means going around in your imagination. I sleep in a race car. I sleep in a race car bed. Do you? I sleep in a bed with my wife. Oh. We're going to have a pool party. You want to come? That's Sam, his real big wheel down at the cracker factory. You want to hang? No, I better get out of here. Okay, let's see this. Shuffle the cards. In the name of Cthulhu. Nama, 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 nama. Nama, 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 nama. Come on now. Come on. Will this be the video? Will this be the video? Will this be the video? Now look, we've got the Justice card. So whether it is or it isn't, we'll know that we got exactly what we deserve. Okay? Let's see. Venger, if this is the video, we will know that you RPG pundits, you know. Well, no, RPG pundit likes Trump too, so it won't even really work that way. But Venger Satanis. You heard about him? I mention Venger Satanis, and they freak out. They all get very upset. Run away. Let's see. This is the video. Come on. Big money. Venger Satanis. I mention him all the time. Here we go. Big fucking money. Let's go, Dark Brandon.
This is the RPG pundit, final boss of internet shitlords.
That is the stupidest thing.
I'm here today to give a brief response. And when I say brief, I mean I have no idea how long it'll be, because every time in the past that I've said this is going to be a brief video, it turns out to be 20 goddamn minutes.
First of all, I love this son of a gun. He thinks that a long video, if a 20-minute video is a long video. Honey, hold my schmear. I'm clocking it at over 2 hours now, okay? And that's light for me, okay? Fufa.
But I'm going to give a response to Venger Satanis. See, a couple of days ago, I reviewed this book, Player's Handbook, Like a Fucking Boss, by good old Venger there. And he ended up posting a video response where there was something he was a little bit upset about, which was basically that I accused him of not really understanding the OSR. And I'm going to start by saying something nice about Venger. It is that he's made here, if I can lift my cat's tail for a second, the island of...
You're going to lift your cat's fucking tail for a second? You just said that. That was fucking weird, right? Meanwhile, that's right. It's 1984, 40-year nostalgia loop. Boop, boop, boop. And I got him. I got him. Toy convention. I got him. The Baron. Boop, boop, boop. Albert Finney in a can. Do, 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 do. Kiss my land. That's right. Check out his pedicure. Look at that. It's Baron Harkonnen, man. Anyway. Come on. This has got to be it.
The Purple Haunted Putrescence, which is one of the best Gonzo OSR settings in the world. It's really good. And I would strongly recommend you to get it if you like Gonzo old school fantasy. It's got a touch of titillation. Yeah, there's a bum on the cover, right? But the actual interior is not, it doesn't reach alpha blue levels of kind of smuttiness. And that means, I mean, the setting itself that he created there, it's a hex crawl, and it does such a great job of presenting an OSR setting. There's a couple of little,
And when it comes to the topic of presentation, I just want to say thank you so much for putting your Euro espresso press like in the shot so we can really know what a, you know what I mean? Alpha blue Euro friendly neighborhood game store you are. What the hell? What are you? Come on now. What is that doing?
Stumbles, but for the most part, it's a great OSR setting. And again, strongly recommended. Now, this tells me that Venger is able to make great OSR settings. It's still, I still think there's some things he doesn't understand about the OSR, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But before that,
and if this is not the video, I'm going to shit twice and die.
I want to say that when I criticize Venger, when I criticize his later games, where instead of working within the kind of rigorous structure of old school D&D, which, let's face it, is not that rigorous. You just have to understand the basics of it, and then you can play around with it a great deal without turning it around completely. But he shortcuts that by playing these other games, making these other games that are basically these dice pools and these very disconnected. I mean, there's most of his games, Alpha Blue, for example, is not really a tight system. It's a very loose system. He did Blood Dark Thirst, which uses the same kind of concept but has a much tighter system. But in any case, he chooses to do a bunch of dice pool games, but still wants to call it OSR for marketing purposes, and that's what it is. I'm going to link to the video where he responds to my review here, and I'm not going to have any problem finding it because he's as shameless a self-promoter as I am. The only difference is I don't say that I've got that my OSR products are all actually OSR. Lion and Dragon is an actual OSR product.
So it's to be OSR in the RPG Pundit.
He can make great games. And what I'm saying is not, like he's my co-host on Inappropriate Characters. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying he's a bad designer. On the contrary, I'm saying he's a really good designer that has occasionally risen to great heights. And then a lot of times he just kind of chooses to slack off and not rise to those heights when I think he could have. So this is all about trying to encourage him to be better, and to be better by being able to make something really spectacular within the framework of the OSR. That's what the OSR does. It's a framework of design that forces you, by forcing you to draw within those lines, it forces you to be creative in a different way than if you're just told you can do whatever you like, be creative, right? Those are the two different kinds of creativity. One is the creativity that happens with a totally unstructured environment, which is usually pretentious dickery, let's face it, right? Once in a while, there is some real genius that within a totally unstructured environment will make something that's truly great. But for the most part, people who want unstructured environments want it because they don't really have the talent for handling structured environments or the skills or the discipline or whatever.
If this is not the right
greatness that happens in a structured environment is this other kind of greatness. It's where you're told, here are the rules. Now figure out how to play with this in such a way that you make something that nobody else has made with these rules. That was about, luck. And you were sometimes had good luck and sometimes had bad luck and sometimes could die and whatever. And that there's even a thing called save versus. It's not just in that one table, because if it was just that, it's just a throwaway thing. But I've seen it in lots of the tables of Alpha Blue or the source books for Alpha Blue, and there's even a touch of it in the Island of Purple Haunted Putrescence, where what really happens
is that
you have a random table where you just roll some dice, and that's what happens to the player characters. And there's nothing the player characters can do to in any way.
Come on,
sci-fi races and all that sort of stuff, but save or die, that's a perfect example of how that was your decision. And there is certainly some of that. Like if you now go, Venger, and look through a bunch of modules and try to find little examples.
Oh God.
Even the Tomb of the the Tomb of Horrors.
Oh God.
They're not going to get into the situations.
God damn it.
Random who survives this match.
Oh God.
See over their character and how.
Oh God.
And it'll probably be posted sometime very early next week. So keep your eyes out for that. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the appropriate characters. And you know what? Subscribe to Venger's channel. He needs the views. It's videos of him talking in his car, which is not nearly as exciting of videos of me talking from behind this screen while I make iced coffee. But give it a shot anyways. It'll be good for his morale. And please support us by giving us some Patreon dollars for inappropriate characters, or if you're mad at Venger and Jim and just want to support me, go to my blog. On my blog, there's a PayPal button. Either way is fine by me. And most of all, share this video, share the debate, share my channel so that people will find out about it. That's one of the best ways. The best example maybe of this kind of haha, you rolled the wrong die, so you're have saber die. If it was just that, it's just a throwaway thing. But I've seen it in lots of the tables.
God damn it. It wasn't this video. Oh my God.
We only got 40 minutes left, so you might as well just roll some dice and see what happened to everybody.
God damn, I cannot believe that. 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 Well, justice bit me in the ass. I cannot believe that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So I have to do this one. Hold on. I'm dying. I'm just dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I can't believe this is happening. Oh God. Oh God. I'm dying. I can't believe this happened. I'm dying. I can't believe this happened. This is just ridiculous. I can't believe this happened. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, could have been the Book of Antithesis? Hold on. It might be this. Hold on. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize, folks. I know you're like, this is like dead air for you. I'm just like, I apologize, folks. This is terrible. I know. I guess not. This is terrible. What am I doing? Oh, okay. This might be it. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. I might find it. I might find it. Hold on. 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 Okay. This might be this might be it. Hold on. He's reviewing the Book of Antithesis, which is for the Lamentations of the Flame Princess, but it involves magic. So this,
yeah, they both have families. They live
yes!
in,
Yes!
suburbs and
yes! Holy shit! We fucking found it! Oh fucking A! Oh thank Jesus! Oh thank Jesus! Ironically. Oh thank you, Jesus. Oh Lord sweet Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. In your heavenly name we pray. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I got to find the right part.
now Florida and Job's. Three of us in inappropriate characters, me, Job, and Venger Satanis,
Here we go. Hold on.
were taking the piss as the illustrative. There's no actual, no real images here. So ultimately, I'm not that impressed with this book, right?
Okay. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. So the Book of Antithesis, I have it. Do I have it here? I have it. I have it here. Oh shit. Oh my God. I can put Baron Harkonnen in the Book of Antithesis. Look. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. This is a book. It's supposed to be. Look, you're supposed to. Here we go. Stand up here, baby. You're supposed to. The time has come to reveal the truth behind role-playing games or satanic. It contains everything you need to initiate yourself into the left-hand path of role-playing. You're supposed to. This book. You're supposed to be able to do black magic, like actual magic in role-playing games with this book, right? It's a role-playing game book, but it's supposed to be an actual book of magic in a role-playing game book. And RPG Pundit is a practicing ceremonial magician. So he's going to review this book about it. So, of course, yeah, here we go. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. No judgment. Ain't no one watching me. Now, also, you are clearly judging me, Pimp Bisquick. And I just want to say thank you for the view. I am in your memory banks forevermore. And I'm happy that my piss poor performance is pissing in your brain. It's not a piss poor performance for me. It's just me being here, being myself. It's a piss poor performance for you in your brain. I'm pissing on you. If it's like Shakespeare, if I bite my thumb at you, am I pissing in your face? If you take it as such. The Book of Antithesis. I'm high on life because I found the actual video. Pip Bisquick. If that is your real name. Which I doubt it is. Thank you for coming. That's what she said. Here we go.
I have a lot of trouble figuring out how much of it is Job actually being serious about his beliefs and how much of it is him being edgy and or taking the piss, as the British say, right? Basically making fun of the people that are reading this and taking it seriously. It's hard to tell. And that is maybe the nicest thing I can say about this book, right? Is that at the very least, you can't be sure how much of it is being done ironically and, as a joke. In terms of utility, I find very little for it. I do find its edginess, it's like constant edginess to be just so ridiculous. It's very funny to me.
We'll get there
because of the three of us in Inappropriate Characters, me, Job, and Venger Satanis, right? Venger and Job try to be so much more edgy with their magic, right? They're both obviously less experienced in it and have less actual training than I do, right?
Less actual training in magic than our friend RPG Pundit. Training in magic. Remember, folks, with proper training in magic, you too can be the final boss of internet shitlords on YouTube.
But then also, that's not the funny part. The funny part is they're super edgy with their magic, right? Venger is the high priest of Cthulhu, and Job wrote the Book of Antitheses and stuff, right? But in their regular lives, they're such average guys compared to the life I lead.
Compared to the life you lead, they are such average guys compared to the life you lead. What is an average guy? And what does it mean to be edgy? And what does that have to do with magic?
They're they both have families. They live in, suburbs and, now Florida in Job's case, or Wisconsin in Vengers. They have day jobs, kids.
Day jobs. The terrible. Don't have a day job. Lots of ceremonial magicians had day jobs. Yeah.
It's, they're just they've got these average American lives, right? And then they're putting on this whole edgelord persona, right?
Unlike you, the final internet shitlord of bosses in Uruguay. With your cat meatball. Now that is a wild, wild life.
Well, here I am, when I'm not astrally traveling, I'm
When you're not astrally traveling, that is an exciting way to say meditating in a room.
world traveling, and
World traveling. Woo! He's world traveling.
I live this totally weird peripheral bohemian lifestyle, like
You live in Uruguay, a near hermetic life, as according to you, with very little expenses.
This complete outcast of the norms,
Who said what? You live in Uruguay. That's not outside the norms. It's completely normal for Uruguay.
But there you go. I guess like when you've actually made it, you don't have to put on the act, like
when you've actually made it, you don't have to put on the act. What is the definition of making it? Because some people would say living out in the suburbs with a wife and kids, then that's making it. And I gotta tell you this, RPG Pundit, I hate to be an asshole. I'm not saying it's this, but some people would say if you're in your mid-40s and you live by yourself in a foreign land, divested of your family interests, alone with a cat, that you're a failure. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that if you're thinking that you've made it because you're the RPG pundit, I'm not saying that you're not successful in the world of TTRPGs, but I'm just saying I wouldn't trade my life for yours. I mean, you're more famous than me in the space of TTRPGs, granted. Do you think that Venger Satanis would trade his five children? Do you think that you've made it? I mean, come on. I mean, you're throwing a lot of shade. And I've got to tell you something, man. I got to tell you something. Has Venger ever said to you, hey, man, I've made it because I've got these kids, but you don't? I don't ever heard Venger say that. But when somebody says, you're a loser, but I've made it, you know what that sometimes says about the person that says, you're the loser, but I've made it? It means they don't actually feel like they've made it. It means what they're really saying is, I'm self-conscious about the fact that I don't have what you have, so I'm going to say that I'm the winner and you're the loser because that's going to bolster me. So I'm going to go ahead and make the call. I think RPG Pundit is self-conscious of the fact that despite the fact that he may have certain aspects of his life that are successful, he's the RPG Pundit. He's published these books. He's a certain amount of fame in TTRPG space. He's very much aware of the fact that his family, to the degree that I can ascertain it, consists of an old, very old cat. Meatball, as I understand it, is 15. Whereas Venger Satanis has a fucking family and a life. Now, granted, Schalt is not Lamentations of the Flame Princess. He's no James Raggi. You want to be James Raggi? I don't want to be James Raggi. I'd rather be Venger Satanis. You know? You know why? Because James Raggi is a fucking melting ball of anxiety and an emotional pain, who talks about shitting himself because he thought that fucking SJWs were coming to fucking wreck up his fucking... He hired security for an SJW invasion of his fucking place or, little setup at some Gen Con that never actually happened. These people are fuck-ups. Well, some of them are. Some of them aren't. This is the video that I wanted to play for you. This is the point. Venger Satanis, thou art avenged.
You don't have to go around pretending that you're like the weird, sinister.
Like you're the final internet boss. You're the final boss of internet shitlords. You don't have to pretend that. VengerCon may have had X number of just a handful of people, but a handful of people showed up there. Could you do an RPG pundit con? Can you organize an RPG pundit con? Maybe you can. In Uruguay?
Edgy, borderline wizard or something. When you actually know enough about what you're doing, and then you've gotten somewhere,
because you know so much about what you're doing. You're a Freemason. Whatever, dude.
So I think obviously the reason that a lot of people are buying this is because it promises to teach you real magic, and there's people.
Well, actually, they're probably buying it because it's a Lamentations of the Princess product, and they have people buy Lamentations of the Princess products because they're well made.
But just get either curious about that, or think that it's they're like they want to see what it's about, right? Like they want to see what it's about either because they really want to believe in it, or because they just find the idea so amusing, right? Or because they're already true believers and want to see what it is, right? There's a lot of, just like, how in D&D, there's people that, even if they know a book is going to suck, they buy it because they have to have the complete collection, that kind of nerdiness, right? Well, there's that kind of nerdiness in the occult publishing scene too, right? So there's people are going to buy this book just to have it, just to be complete about it, It's as annoying in that culture as it is in RPG culture for me, because it means people buy crap products sometimes, right? I don't know what else to say about the Book of Antithesis, so I'll probably just kind of leave it there. I don't think that that is highly recommendable to almost anyone. I mean, I guess, I always try to figure out who would want to buy this book. Okay, if you are either a teenager or a vastly superannuated teenager, right? Like you're still emotionally a teenager.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who do we know that's still emotionally a teenager? I don't know.
And you want to seem like cool and sinister, and you think that like satanic imagery is super cool, and that having stuff and publishing stuff and buying stuff and showing off stuff that is maybe going to offend little old ladies is super cool, and you want to show everybody how much of a badass you are in those categories. Okay. Yeah. Then you might want to buy the Book of Antithesis. If you want to actually get a product that is useful in an RPG campaign, and that is going to be not teach you how to do it, but teach you about how real life occultism works, right? They're not going to be able to do a single goddamn spell from buying the Invisible College, right? But you will actually come out with probably a better education than a lot of chaos wizards have about.
Oh, did we mention that RPG Pun is one of these people that chaos magic is lame because you have to pay attention to the rules. It's like the Golden Dawn and be a Freemason.
About what real Western magic is and how it works and what it's supposed to accomplish.
Like traveling the astral plane. Ooh. And this tarot card means this. And these are the colors that it represents. Oh, wait, but I always thought of these stars kind of more like I had this feeling. No, you're wrong. If the color is green, speckled white. No, I always felt like it was kind of more of a mauve, pinky tone. No, you're wrong. You're incorrect, sir.
So in a way, like this will be only a simulation. You're not going to learn any real magic, but in that simulation, you will be able to have way more accuracy than whatever the hell this is.
Whatever the hell.
Also,
okay.
If you're looking for an adventure, well, you can do the like super edgy pregnant cannibal children adventure in Book of Antitheses, or you could buy the old school companion too. which has adventures that are based on.
Okay, well, the point is this: we found the thing. We found the thing. We found the thing. It took us 2.5 hours. I'm down to 3 viewers, but we found the thing. No one will watch this video, especially not to this portion. Was the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. Do you? Well, yeah, probably. You probably know it wasn't worth the squeeze. But it's too late. We did it. It happened. 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 36 seconds of YouTube information that is now here. For as long as YouTube continues to host it and until I end up taking it down. It happened. RPG Pundit thinks he's cool, and people with families are big time losers. And I want to say, no, sir. It's not that you're a loser for not having a family. It may be that you've revealed that there's part of you that feels like you're a loser for not having a family. Or maybe I'm wrong. But I'm most definitely right. I'm totally right. You're not a loser for not having a family, but you are most likely feeling inside like maybe you should have had a family or should have someone in your life. Why don't you get a nice Uruguay person? You're there. Apparently, you've got more TTRPG money than Mike Merle's. So make it happen. Or don't. You know what I mean? I won't think any less of you. I won't think any more of you. All I know is that Venger Satanis will be fine and everything will be whatever it is. And it's all good. And no one will watch this video ever. And final card of the night, we got justice. We found the video eventually. Yo, Ace of Wands. We do what we do and we see it through. And then the bird, she flew. I love you, I love you, I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did, and that somebody is CW Chanter. $33, City Life, butchers, bakers, and fishmongers crow the virtues of their wares in the market square. A Jewish money changer carrying a scale and weights offers to exchange silver coins for the local trade currency. Yep. But that's a tale for another time. Time. See what it's become of me as I look around for a Albert Finney. He raises his hands to me. I could not afford the sting. He was still boxed, you see. Turn around. The ground. He floats to a wider shade of end the video. Okay. We are Audi 5000. And next time we'll play the video of RPG Pundit buying himself the Steve Jackson Fantasy Trip box set and pretending it was purchased for him by somebody else whose name he can't remember. You can't remember that name because it was you. Trust me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love RPG Pundit. He's a human being. Like Mr. Wendell. Okay, now I gotta go. Peace! Genocide, the appropriate reference would be to Looker. Shout out to Jay Cthulhu.